Droplets, it's your girl Rain. Welcome back to another episode of Simsify, a series where I turn your favorite cartoon characters into Sim. I hope you're ready for another fun video today because we're taking a deep dive into the weird and wacky world of Gravity Falls. If you're new here, I post videos like this a lot, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the fun. We are making Dipper, Mabel, Stan, Soos, Wendy, Robbie, Gideon, and Pacifica. It's raining with anticipation, time to get started. So first up is Dipper, the curious adventure-seeking twin with a thirst for mystery. Honestly, I think we all relate to Dipper's need to uncover the truth, right? Like, who doesn't love a good conspiracy theory? Dipper is such a thoughtful character, and I knew I had to give him a look that's a bit practical but still kind of youthful. I gave him the genius and bookworm traits and the Renaissance sim aspiration because I just thought that kind of fit his style. I think he's so cute. He is a lot paler than I am typically used to making in The Sims, so I had to really think about what type of blush and skin details to really use to complement his skin tone, but I think it turned out really well. I really wanted to give him a specific hair, but then I realized he looked so much like Hiccup from my How to Train Your Dragons video that I did recently, so I had to quickly change it. But I'm really happy with how his hair turned out in the end, and I kind of really like his cap. I don't give my Sims hats a lot. I just personally don't like how they sit on their heads, and especially because it's a minimal CC video where I'm trying to use as much of the game as possible. So, I don't know. I think the hat really worked with his overall outfit, and yeah, I went with a classic style, his iconic blue vest, red shirt, and khakis. I kept it simple and realistic as Dipper's all about being prepared for whatever weirdness is about to happen in Gravity Falls. I also made sure his hair was that messy, no-nonsense style, just like in the show. I can just see him walking around with his little backpack that has so many journals in it, and I thought that was really cool because it would reflect his curiosity and investigative side. If I had to give him a career, I would either give him I was going to give him a detective career, but of course he would be a paranormal investigator. That just makes so much more sense. I don't know. I think Dipper is so cute. And of course you can go the extra mile and put a Dipper tattoo underneath his bangs, because that's the real reason why it took me so long to find his hair, because I was like, it needs to be long enough on his forehead to cover that birthmark. And I always thought that was such a cool reason for his name. But anyway, I thought that top really worked well on him, and I don't know, his style is kind of simplistic, trying to go with the flow. I don't know, I'm really happy with how he turned out. So what do you think? Does this Dipper look like someone who's about to go searching for a weird creature in the woods? Let me know in the comments. And seriously, what's your favorite Dipper moment from the show? I think I just love the clone episodes. Yeah, that's my favorite because it was so much Dipper. Too much, if you will. Next up, we've got Mabel, Dipper's quirky, optimistic twin. Mabel's the type of character that instantly brings joy to any room. She's all about fun, creativity, and expressing herself through her colourful, over-the-top style. I had a blast recreating Mabel because, well, her outfits are just as wild and wacky as her personality, so I tried to make that show. Obviously, they are supposed to be twins, but I just wanted to show little differences. As they grow up, they are probably not resembling each other as much. I was really conflicted with the hair because I wanted that pop of colour of a typical headband, so I ended up choosing the cottage living hair because I thought the bandana was very colourful, but I was tossed between that and the snowy escape hair simply because it had those two clips, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is so Mabel. I gave her the creative and goofball traits and the friend of the world aspiration because I think that just screams Mabel, doesn't it? I would be so interested to see who Mabel turned out to be when she got older because she's just so, what's the word? She's just a lot. So I am interested in how that would age realistically. Oh, she's just so cute. So I think she does look very similar to Dipper, which I'm glad because, I mean, realistically, I could have done the twin generator that's in the game, but I decided, no, let's be difficult and start from scratch. Not that the twin generator is ever really accurate sometimes, especially when you're doing cross-gendered, but I don't know. I think she turns out well. I think she's pretty, and I hope you like her too. I chose a super colourful and eccentric look for Mabel. Really wanted to get her the sweater, and I was looking at the one from Cats and Dogs, but I really wanted something with a graphic print on the top, so that's why I ended up going for the one I did, and also the hoodie that has like the freezer bunny on it as well. But yeah, so I did bold sweaters, skirts, and some fun accessories. I think she was just so fun to make. I tried to think bold and out of the box, but I don't think my mind could really go that far. I did keep her braces. I'm not sure how messed up her teeth were, but I just really wanted to keep the braces, especially because I had CC to change the color of the braces, and I feel like she's the type of girl who would change her braces colors every time. I know some people do that whenever they go in, they're like, oh, I'm going to have the whole rainbow, and I think if that was an option, Mabel would definitely do that. She's always trying to stand out, so I gave her that mix of bold patterns and bright colors that totally absolutely fill and scream Mabel. Her style is definitely an expression of free, spirited and artistic nature, and of course I make sure to give her that signature smile. Of course, if you're used to my Sims videos, you know that I tend to make my Sims frown a bit, but no, I definitely decided not to do that with Mabel and give her a little smile because I think that's so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm crazy, I know, calm down. I don't know why, but something about Mabel just screams, what's that woman from Bridgerton Bay? Katrina Lynx? I just don't know. I feel like they would be friends. Not that I'm saying that Mabel screams crazy cat lady, but yeah. And because she kind of screamed that, I gave her a lot of things from cats and dogs because they had cute prints like that dress. I did want to make waddles, but I don't know, realistically, how would I make a pig? And then I just went into a whole mind spiral, like, why didn't we get pigs in The Sims? And then I was like, why didn't we get pigs in The Sims? But then I don't really know what pigs do. I was like, we got a whole cottage pack and we didn't get pigs. But then I don't know if you don't get me started on the whole thing because it doesn't make sense to me why we got llamas for the British pack and not the country pack. But let me not say a thing. I just think having pigs would have been cool. They could have done like truffle hunting or like, you know, in Cats and Dogs where you can go on adventures with your pet. If they have like the adventurous trait, we could have gone on like this whole thing where we go with the pigs and we try to find things. Or similarly, we could have a thing where having pigs in a lot make it easier to find collectibles if you have pigs in your lot or something, because pigs have such a good sense of smell, and it's kind of similar to like when you have the rabbits or the birds, they help with your gardening. So I don't know. But anyway, I did not make models basically. That's what I was saying. I even looked on the gallery to see if other people made pigs, and they don't. Just here's a tip: don't look it up because that is actually terrifying. And yeah, no. Anyway, Mabel is so full of energy, and I think her looks really capture it. I kind of hope that it looks good. Totally wrong, but what are besties for? I don't know, and I just think she's cool. But out of all of these Sims that I make today, I was really thinking about who I would become friends with. So let me know your thoughts about that too. Like, do you think you and Mabel would hit it off? Now let's talk about Stan. Good old Grunkle Stan. The guy who can be gruff, selfish, but deep down loves his family. He's always scheming, running his tourist traps, and of course being the quirky father figure for Dipper and Mabel. I knew his Sim had to have a bit of a rough around the edges look, but still show some of that secret soft side. Now, when I say I struggled, I'm saying I struggled because I do not make elders in The Sims. I just don't. I just really didn't know what I was going to do with this. I don't make old Sims. Even when I played my generational Let's Plays, like with Whimsy Stories Challenge, when Rush got old, I barely played with her. I don't know. I don't like old Sims. Maybe that's because there's not much to do with them, but also because I don't know how to make them look old. My elders end up looking like adults with grey hair. And you know, it's okay. Stop judging me. I did give him his signature suit with that iconic fez. Obviously, that isn't a fez. It, I believe, is the nurse's hat that comes with Get to Work from the top of my head. But I thought it was the same color. You know, it just, we can pretend that the tassel's at the back. But no, I don't know. I think it turned out okay. Anyway, I gave him the materialistic, self-assured, and mean traits because although he is lovable and he does love his family very much, he's kind of like a tough love type of guy. I can imagine he's mean, in quotes mean, but you know, secretly he loves everyone and it's just his way of showing love. Obviously, you can change it to family oriented if you decided to download him. I gave him the fabulously wealthy aspiration as well. Now, I was really happy with the fact that we had a gold necklace. It's of course not an exact replica, but I think it looked quite good. I am so happy that I had the Northern Siberian wind skin details for the furrowed brow, and I use body hair, guys. I never use body hair. I don't like the texture in The Sims, but I use it because he's a very, very hairy man. I really wanted to scream the whole scruffy, lazy uncle. I really just wanted to make him look unkempt. And let's be honest, he is not one to spend too much time worrying about his appearance. He's more about the hustle, which we love that about him. So what do you think about this look for Stan? Are you a fan of his sneaky ways, or do you wish he was a bit more upfront? And speaking of Stan schemes, who else was blown away by the big secrets revealed in this final season? Soos, the lovable goofball of Gravity Falls. I mean, who doesn't love Soos? He's got this big heart of gold, always eager to help, and let's face it, he's probably the best friend we all need in our lives. For his look, I wanted to go with that chill, laid-back vibes because, well, he is the epitome of cool, she said sarcastically, but in the most relaxed way possible. I gave him the goofball, loyal, and childish traits, and also gave him the jokester aspiration. I think he's so cute. I don't know why, because he's so childish. I just assume he's really young, but he's actually the oldest out because of the people. Anyway, again, I really dislike the fact that I had to give so many of the Sims hats for this challenge. I just really don't like hats, but I don't know. When I was doing this, I really wanted to think like a laid back, cool, kind of gamer, kind of lazy guy. I gave him a little scruff. Again, I'm doing things that I never do, like giving my male Sims facial hair. That's not CZ. And anyway, I really love this shirt, the little UFO shirt. I think that's something he would totally wear. And I really wanted to go with t-shirts, graphics mostly, and just chill vibes. Again, if he had more trait slots, I totally think he would have lazy, but you know, I wanted to emulate that laziness in his outfits because I don't think he cares that much about his outfits. And can I just say, I don't know if it's just me, but I have not gotten used to that copy button. Like, the copy button is so useful, and of course, it's a game changer. Something that honestly, I don't know how we were living without before, but I never remember to press it. And so yeah, obviously, I'm sure you could tell throughout the whole video and majority of my other cast videos in the Simsify series, it's just crazy. I mean, when will I learn? I think Soos is an interesting character. I think he's just one of those people that you kind of can't hate. I mean, because I'm trying to think of a single bad thing about Soos, and honestly, I can't name one. And when I saw this BB Rexa t-shirt, I was like, oh my gosh, does that not give the vibes of his in quotes girlfriend? What episode was that? I have no idea. But when he was like obsessed with this girl and she was a game character or whatever, and it was evil and I don't know, but I was like, oh my gosh, that just screams the vibe. Not saying that about BB Rexa, but yeah, I don't typically like English on the shirts, but you know, it fit the vibes. I also didn't give him hair. I don't know if he has hair, but let's just say he shaves it off when he gets older. Anyway, are you guys also a huge Soos fan? What's your favorite Soos moment? Now let's talk about Wendy. Wendy's another one of those characters who's super laid back, but also has this tough exterior. She's the cool, I've been there, done that type who always seems to have it together. I wanted her Sim to be confident, but have that chill, no nonsense vibe as well. That just looks effortlessly cool. For her traits, I went with bro, non-committal, and adventurous. I feel like that really suited her because she's just kind of doesn't seem to care. And of course, that is the persona she gives off. So, you know, that's kind of the vibes I went with. I also gave her the leader of the pack aspiration because her group of friends are actually really cool, and I think she's the unspoken leader simply for that reason. Now, with the hair, I thought this werewolf hair fit really well, but I was just so annoyed about this hat because I couldn't find the hat that kind of matched. So I was on the fence on whether I should just give her a beanie or not give her a hat at all. I ended up going with this hat, but yeah, I'm not sure. I wanted to give her a beanie because she kind of suits a beanie, but I feel like she's the type of gal who would be like, oh, beanies are so mainstream, and so I didn't. I kind of like how Wendy came out. Obviously, in my version, she's older. I assume she still works at the Mysterious Shack, but who knows? I went for a more tomboy chic look with Wendy's style. Obviously, she does wear skirts sometimes, like in the Halloween episode, so for one of the categories, I did try to emulate that. Majority of the times when I do these videos, I am being inspired by outfits they actually wear in the show, and for shows that they only give them one outfit, I kind of just get inspired by their personalities. So I went full plaid, full flannel. I just wanted to give her as much flannel as possible. I was kind of trying to think of like lumberjack. Don't ask me why. I find it so funny because as I am recording this, I just posted a lumberjack male sim on my TikTok at PluvyX, if you are wondering. Hashtag shameless plug. She's definitely someone I think if you were on like a camping trip, she would be cutting the firewood and everything. So I just wanted to give those vibes. I, of course, went for the ripped jeans and boots and just real lumberjack vibes. Okay, how many times am I going to say lumberjack? Jeez. I'm going to pretend it's tomboy chic, but it's literally lumberjack chic, and I'm okay with that. I think these outfits are totally something Wendy would wear, right? She's got that outdoor, rugged, adventurous vibe from her love of working at the shack. I don't know, she's cute. And of course, I love giving my Sims freckles, so of course I would love Wendy. I mean, how could I not? So, how does this Wendy look stack up? Do you think she'd be down to hang out in the woods or take on some weird creature hunting? Let me know in the comments. Next, we have Robbie. Robbie is a stereotypical bad boy of the show, moody and distant, and who doesn't love an emotionally distant guy, apparently? But you can tell he's got his own issues and layers.
You get it. We both have layers.
I wanted to make Robbie's look match his cool grungy vibe while still showing he's a bit of a loner. I didn't give him the loner traits, but I feel like he is definitely one. I made him gloomy, a music lover, and jealous because, let's face it, he's a little jealous and we saw that in the show. I gave him the musical genius aspiration because he does have his little guitar, doesn't he? He has his little guitar. I gave him, what do you call it? Gorgeous? Gauges? I feel like it's gauges because I feel like he would totally have that. And I don't know, I feel like every time I make a white, grungy kind of emo, moody guy, I just think of Wolfgang Munch, and so I couldn't help it. I obviously didn't think they look exactly the same, but as soon as I give him piercing, I'm like, oh my gosh, Wolfgang, where have you been? Twin, where have you been? For Robbie, I went with a black hoodie, ripped jeans, and boots to really give him that rebellious rock and roll look. His hair is messy too. He's not trying to impress anyone, you know? I did give him the nose piercing. I do think it kind of worked with him, but I don't know. I kind of obviously am making it seem like he is older, so he's kind of changed a little. I doubt him and Wendy are together. I know there are a lot of shippers for Wendy and Dipper, but I'm not really sure. But then again, I don't know. Because in my head, I'm like, the age difference is mad. But realistically, it isn't that big of a deal. When they are older. But then again, I kind of thought the whole Katara and Aang thing was kind of wild because I was like, isn't Aang like a child? But apparently people want what they want, so I'm not judging. I'm not judging anything. We listen and we don't judge out loud. I like how Robbie turned out. I think he's cute. Well, not cute. I think he's a horrible person sometimes, but I don't know. We don't really delve that deeply into Robbie's whole thing, but maybe he's like traumatized, you know? I think he just wants to be like grungy, but he's so emo. Like, you're so emo, Robbie. And I don't know. I think Robbie's cute. I give him his little black nails and he's like, come on, you know? He's just like, I feel like, I don't know. I think Robbie wants to have trauma. He's just one of those guys who's like, oh yeah, all his songs about like these dark themes. And realistically, he has like a pretty normal life. I find it so interesting. And that's why I think it screams Wolfgang to me, because Wolfgang has a seemingly normal family and then it's just him. Let me mind my business. Next up, we have Gideon. Oh, Gideon. This guy, he was something. So Gideon is basically the ultimate antagonist in Gravity Falls. So I, of course, had to include him. He's manipulative, power hungry, honestly, just a little creepy. I just love that his name's Gleeful. So I made him evil and a snob, giving him the dastardly aspiration. I was kind of in a bit of turmoil because I couldn't figure out what shade of white to give him. I don't know. I was really conflicted with giving him his hair color because of course the white is what he has in the show, but I thought it kind of washed his skin out because he's so red and I didn't think it looked right. And so I literally sat here for, I'm too embarrassed to say how long, but a really long time because I was like, what, you know? and I was like, oh, what do I do with him? What do I do with him? And yeah, that was my turmoil. Okay, Miss Drama GCSE, not me acting it out. I think it turned out okay in the end. I don't know. I wouldn't have my Sims have that light color hair for their skin tone, but wanted to stick with the theme. It's for the plot. I kept his cute button nose and made him have a smile like with Mabel. So I didn't do any frowns because I thought he would have a forced smile on his face all the time, and that's why people kind of trust him. Okay, stop gasping. I'll do more frowns next video. Calm down. I was trying to think really devious when I was making Gideon and kind of like how could he manipulate people as easily as possible. And I didn't realize we had so many good baby blue swatches, and so I did that. I kind of made him have suits all the time because I wanted him to look polished and ready for the cameras at any moment, and so I even gave him a suit for his hot weather outfit. I like to think that it has like special lining or something so that it doesn't make him too hot, but that was kind of my mentality. For his look, I went with something that screamed villain, but still kept that weird, I'm a kid, but I'm a little too self-aware vibe, because he's still a teen. I gave him a sharp-tailored suit to reflect his well-dressed but sinister personality. His hair is perfect. It has to be perfect. You think that little strand was just fell there? No, he did that on purpose, because everything's strategic. It's a lie. He's a world-class manipulator, and yeah, he's definitely got that I'm in control attitude going on. I was just really happy because I managed to give him that little country vibe he had with the little bow tie and his little pointy shoes, and I don't know. I think when he was younger it was kind of funny. I was like, oh my gosh, this child's insane, like, but I feel like he would be a horrible person when he gets older. Like, it would be a literal nightmare. He's the type of guy that they've made Netflix specials on or TikTok series about who the heck I married and stuff like that. And I definitely think this is Gideon, some next level manipulator, and it's actually kind of scary to think about Gideon older. So let's just not. Let's just say he's pretty and move on. Gideon is a character who definitely left a lasting impression though. His whole obsession with Mabel was honestly a little disturbing. Not even a little. A lottle. An axolotl. But who else thought his downfall was both tragic and fitting for his personality? Gideon just couldn't see beyond his own selfishness, and obviously, coming from a literature nerd, I loved the hubris. Okay, English GCSE. And following on from the villains, Robbie, Gideon, we are now going on to Pacifica. Pacifica. Such a good name though. Last but not least, we have Pacifica Northwest. Oh my gosh, her name is so perfect. Probably the most unexpected character arc in Gravity Falls. She starts out as your classic mean girl, rich, snobby, and way too polished for a town, as weird as Gravity Falls. But over time, she really surprised me. Honestly, when I first watched the show, I couldn't stand her. She was that textbook rich kid antagonist, the one who bullied Mabel, acted like she owned the school, and constantly looked down on everyone else. But the more you dig into her story, especially in episodes like Northwest Mansion Mystery, the more you realize she's not just acting that way for fun. She's trapped in it. There's pressure from her parents, this insane legacy to live up to, and the way she slowly breaks free from all of that, it's subtle, but really powerful. So when I started building her in CAS, I knew I wanted to reflect both versions of Pacifica, the one the town sees and the one she becomes. I went for high cheekbones and almond-shaped eyes to reflect their classic rich girl cartoon design. Her lips are fuller, hinting at that stylish confidence she tries to exude. I do think she would have had plastic surgery to give her the, in quotes, perfect look. So I ordered her, and I think it's obvious, but hey, she looks good. I also give her a warmer skin tone, as I definitely see herself tanning. In terms of her traits, I gave her snob because, let's be real, she doesn't lose all that overnight. Perfectionist, fitting for someone raised to maintain appearances, when you think about it logically. I do think when she becomes a young adult, her third trait would be good because underneath it all, she does want to do the right thing, but not yet, as she still has to unlearn what right means to her. For her outfit, I went with those classic soft purples, high boots type vibes. I really liked her belt design, but of course we can't really do that. She's wearing jewelry, so I made sure to have her have a necklace and earrings. I wanted to make her a gold girly because she is rich, but the whole silver diamond thing worked. I just wanted to make it seem like she has money, but kind of subtly. I do think she would keep her rich girl vibes when she gets older, but she simply turn it down a bit more, which I don't know, I think it's kind of on brand for early Pacifica. Picture perfect, curated, and just a little icy. Her hair is long and perfectly waved in that cool platinum blonde. She's always camera ready. I chose a style that has a little bit of a bounce and a polish, like in the show. I went for an overall style that's sleek but has movement because even though she wants to appear flawless, there's a little bit of her that's restless. You see that tension, especially when she starts questioning her parents' values. But for her main outfit, her post-redemption vibe, I turned things down. I swapped the dress for those jeans, denims, and ankle boots, and the little lavender. I love the lavender! Unfortunately, we don't have as much purple in The Sim. It's a bit more relaxed Pacifica, the one who's learning how to be a friend. I still gave her the world-famous celebrity aspiration because I do think she wants to still be popular and known for something, but I think she's just trying to make it her own instead of being the status symbol that her parents wanted. Creating Pacifica in The Sims felt like giving her a second chance, a space where she's not defined by her family name or wealth, just a girl figuring things out. I mean, isn't that what your teen years are for? So that's all of them. We've got the whole gang from Gravity Falls. I had so much fun bringing these characters to life in The Sims 4, and I really hope you enjoyed seeing how I interpreted each one's personality and style. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know which sim was your favorite, and feel free to drop some fun facts about the show in the comments. Seriously, I'm always down for a Gravity Falls discussion. Thanks for weathering the storm. Shower me with a thumbs up and make it rain on that subscribe button. And as always, have a lovely day, afternoon, evening. Bye!